Hey guys, what's up? Angrentv with a Stormweaver Arc cast on Shock Lightning Conduit build guide in Path of Exile2, and the Archmage is a really strong archetype in POE2. Everyone is playing Fireball and Spark, but I recently also built an Arc build that does really well. I can clear up to T15 maps with it pretty comfortable, and the single target damage is also really good. And the build is pretty cheap. The only real expensive thing that will skyrocket this build is the Everlasting Gaze. It costs 1 div around right now, but thanks to the Everlasting Gaze, it opens up a nice CI mind over matter Eldritch battery style, where we have tons of mana but still some ES. You can check out my full video where I will explain the interaction of this type. Until there, will convert all of your energy shield to your mana to Eldritch battery. Then you have mind over matter, so your defense pool is your mana, but thanks to the Everlasting Gaze, you will get the extra mana as extra energy shield for the conversion start, so you can also scale your percent energy shield and you have at least some sort of energy shield. The other gear that I have is around 1 to 5x, with the helmet as the second most expensive, one with 20x, but you only need this if you have the Everlasting Gaze. So what are the core functions of the build right now? As I said, we're gonna utilize our Archmage and we're gonna buff our skills with the Archmage, so we are constantly scaling max mana, and thanks to Eldritch battery we're also gonna scale our maximum energy shield. We even get more mana, so we get even more defense, because thanks to mind over matter the mana is our defensive pool, and we also gonna get more damage through mana with our Archmage. In addition, we're gonna use our Arc setup and we constantly buff it with our mana Tempest, so it will get a huge buff and it gets the needed multi-target that it lacks a bit because of the nasty bugs that it has right now, which I will come to them later. For more dangerous foes like heavy rares or unique bosses, you will also cast Conductivity, your Orb of Storms, in Sigil of Power, and then you're gonna cast your Arc until the enemy dies, and that's all of the build. And you just smell them enemies from the far, you don't even need to go the single target, because honestly if we're gonna face the enemies in the single target we are having some huge problems. This is also the reason why this build kinda has some problems with Breach and also Ritual, because the mobs are constantly swarming you, but if you're gonna start spamming your Arc with your buffs beforehand, it should be fine. In addition, we're also gonna use our cast on shock setup. It still has some problems in maps and clearing packs, so it is not great for the clear, but we don't need it for the clear, we only need it for the big damage chunk on the bosses and the big elites, and it works really well so far. We have cast on shock with Lightning Conduit. The cool thing with Lightning Conduit is that Lightning Conduit will deal far more damage if the enemy is shocked, and it will consume the shock, and thanks to our Ascendency where we get 2 shocks at a target with strike twice, Lightning Conduit will do even more damage. And in addition, we can anoint the Lesser Suit. We even have a chance to reapply our consuming shock, and thus far can trigger it way faster because the cast on shock builds up way faster, and thanks to Energize we also have a chance to refund some energy. And even after the nerf it is still fine for boss targets, and it helps us really great, and in general the single target of this build is really great. So these are all of the cornerstones of the build that you need to know. If you still have some further questions or interaction of this build works, please write down your questions in the comments down below. And also we're gonna jump now into the skill setup, the skill tree, the gear, and I even have some leveling setup in my Charblanner, so also check my Charblanner out. Before we jump in, please leave a like and a sub, it would boost my channel tremendously, it would help me a lot. And also follow me on Twitch, where I will also constantly stream every week, Path of Exile2, and also check out a POE2 thread where I will also constantly update this guide. Now let's talk about our skill setup. First of all, we're gonna have Arc with inspiration, so we're gonna need inspiration at the beginning because it is really mana hungry, especially with mana and tempest. In the later stages, when you have more of your mana and you also have more of your mana thanks to your constant gale tendency, you won't need this maybe, and then you can also switch this out. But for the beginning, go for inspiration. For the second part, go for unleash. So it is really great for clearing multiple targets of enemies, because when we are spamming Arc, it will constantly re-unleash on our target, and also go for Arc and Temper, so we have in total faster cast time of Arc because it has a pretty low cast time, and also go for Lightning Mastery, so it plus level supported lightning skills. And for 6 links you can go for a different kind of setup. You can even go for Conduction, so you have more chance to shock, or you can go for Rising Temper, so you have more damage with your Arc. You can also go for Chain, but keep in mind, currently Chain is bugged. The problem is our Arc doesn't get the plus bonus damage for each remaining Chain target. It is currently bugged, so the Chain support only breaks even if you have at least 8 base Chain targets with your Arc. So we're gonna have 1 from the Skilltree, and we need in total 7 from our Arc. Before that, it is a damage loss, and it is even far worse for our single target. Also, the quality does not really work for it right now, so it is even more. So yeah, it is more for your clear. It's not good for single target. When it gets fixed, will be 100% your best support game. For Sigil of Power, you only need a buff on your second setup, and then for your Orb of Storms, go for Font of Mana, so you're gonna regenerate mana. Also go for Strip Away, and for Lightning Exposure, so the enemies get Lightning Exposure, and thanks to Strip Away, it has an even greater effect for even more damage. For cast and shock setup, go for Lightning Conduit, as I said, also for Impetus, so we can cast our Lightning Conduit faster. Go for Elemental Focus, so we're gonna do even more damage. We cannot afflict elemental ailments, but Lightning Conduit consumes it either way. We don't even need it. Also go for Energy Retention for your 5 link, and for 6 link you can go for something like Super Critical, where you have more crit damage bonus or something other that boosts the damage. Maybe also consider casting is also good. You can also use considered casting for your Arc. For next slot, go for Archmage as also Clarity for more mana, and for next slot, go for Frostwall. So you only need Frostwall for your defensive options, but it's sometimes a lifesaver. Also, I have Frostwall on the second set. I will come to this in some moments, because you can use Blink then if you have some trouble, or if you're in really danger. Just place Frostwall and then blink away, and this saved my life many times, so it is really important. Get it on your second weapon slot. Or your Conductivity, also get this on your second weapon slot, because we're gonna take some skill points on our skill tree that we only need for the Curse. Go for Hide and Curse and also Hex Boom with it. And on your second setup, you can also go for Lightning Warp with Soul Drain, so you are even faster in your maps and can finish off the weaker monsters. And for your second last skill, Blink, as I said, it is also a buff, but you can use it because we are on the second setup. We're gonna switch our second weapon setup with our Frostwall, and then we can just blink away. Keep in mind, if you're on your first setup, you don't have Blink active because you need the links otherwise. So make sure that you have it on your second weapon setup. And for our last one, this is also really important. Get Mana Tempest with Murderous Intent and also Premeditation. Thanks to Murderous Intent, we have a Culling Strike when we are in our Mana Tempest, and thanks to the quality, we even have the Mana Tempest buff if we move out of Mana Tempest, and with Premeditation we even do more damage with Arc. So it is really simple. Just place your Mana Tempest, cast Arc, then move on, then place your Mana Tempest again and cast Arc again. So this is really simple playstyle. So again, your first prior is when you're finished your campaign and getting to maps, to just max out your resistance. You can get this by getting resist on your gloves, getting resist on your boots and on your rings, and even some helmet or even your focus. And you can also get Midnight Braid. With Midnight Braid we gonna get our mana recouped. The things in Midnight Braid, we're gonna get 50% of our mana recouped after 8 seconds. So when we took damage from our mana source or from our energy shield source, we're gonna get this recouped after 8 seconds. So this is also great. You can also go for a rare belt if you don't want to go for Midnight Braid, but it works really good for me. And also in order, and also it is important, in order to play with Archmage and also with Cast and Shock all of 160 spirit, you will get 100 from your campaign. You need a further 6. You get at least 55 spirit through your armor, but you also need to get corruption with 20 spirit on your helmet. So make sure you get this corruption. This helmet costs me around 20x. It was pretty cheap and really good. Also, keep in mind that you will get your build, but you only need this if you have the Everlasting Gaze, because you're still playing without Everlasting Gaze. You can also get your spirit on your amulet, or get your spirit on your amulet if you don't have gas, but this should be your number one prior. So get your get your res max with your gear, then also get maximum mana on nearly every single piece of your gear, and then for your next bio get the Everlasting Gaze. It is really high in your list, so then you can play this crazy combo with the Eye, Mind Over Matter, and also the Eldritch Battery, which I will explain in some details in some moments in the skill tree. And for a specific type for a weapon, make sure that you have a high level of either lightning spell gems or general spell gems. Also get increased spell damage, get a higher value of maximum mana. You can also get increased cast speed or mana after you kill the enemy, and also some mana regeneration rate, and also extra damage as lightning damage. This is also great. Before you both rings, make sure that you also cap rares with it. Also get maximum mana, and also after that get a cast speed on it, and then you will be fine. And for other ring, also maximum mana, this cast speed, some elemental resistance, focus, get level of spell gems, also a maximum energy shield, also maximum mana, and you also can get some rest. In general, your first priors are always skill gem ranks, and after that maximum mana, then maximum energy shield, and then flat energy shield, because it will boost our defense and also our offense. And then for boots, max your resistance with it, and also check this out on your Charplana. And as I said, with the helmet, get your spirit. And your gloves are also a great way to help your resistance early on. For your runes, get your runes first, so you will have your rest max. So I needed some rest runes. I had 12 to fire rest on my shield, and also some fire rest on my boots, and resistance on my gloves. But other than that, get your energy shield nodes on a rune. For charm, get a charm that you won't be frozen. So, and now to the skill tree. So there are some cornerstones in our skill tree. So I try to achieve to maximize my chance to shock, maximize energy gain for cast and shock. I also try to get maximum energy shield flat, and also yes percentage. It is pretty simple. When you start this character, you will start at the beginning here, then get some pure energy, open mind, and then get your way up. This route here you can also get some insight bonus, but I will advise you to only get this if you have Eldritch Battery, and then just make your way to your top here. And for the beginning, because the left route is not that important, go for this right route, get your pure power and also your power conduction early on, and then also get Arcane Intensity, your branching bolts, and also lightning quick, so you're gonna deal more damage with it. Will greatly boost your damage in the early stages of the game, and also take these two nodes only if you're in the later stages. And after that, for the left route with the cane, so you have this effect of Arcane Surge, and also calibration, you have more energy shield, and then you should be also in the late game. So as I said, I have Eldritch Battery, so it converts all of our energy shield for mana. You can see I only have energy shield on my boots, and if I'm gonna take them out, I have around 100 mana less. If we're gonna take them on, I have 100 more. It will directly boost our defense because we're gonna play with Mind Over Matter, and will also boost directly our offense because we're gonna deal damage with our maximum mana. We also have, as I said, Mind Over Matter and also CI, so we only have one life, and we're immune to chaos, so this is a really great quality of life boost. And thanks to our Everlasting Gaze, we can also scale our energy shield, because normally we wouldn't have any energy shield. As you can see, the Everlasting Gaze kind of enables this, so we can also get 10 energy shield on our gear tree, because on our tree only the red energy shield will get counted to our mana. The percent increase energy shield would be wasted without our Everlasting Gaze, but it will work with the Everlasting Gaze. Also get some heavy buffer from increased maximum energy shield. If you're around 83 right now, this is your skill tree. I will also put leveling mid and end Charplana on my Charplana in the description. And if you're heading to 90 or 95, go for the route down here and get your dynamism, some energy. You can also go for this route, Endless Circuit, and then on really important and really good lightning rod. Lightning damage with non-critical hits is lucky. Also, we're gonna have two weapon sets. Right now I have the one weapon set on this cluster, but it's only that I can get my second weapon slots. Maybe I will change this also. We have some curse nodes here, but we only need this when we're cursing, so this is on our second setup. So this will be on our second weapon slot. My plan is also to kind of get to this shot here, so I can get the other ones here, Impending Doom, and also get this here, because I have my second weapon set on this curse nodes here. Lightning Whispers, and also my Faded End. Take this as your second weapon set, and you can get your first weapon set for Ascendency. Go for your Constant Gale and your Force of Will at your first, and then go for Strike Twice as your third Ascendancy, and then go for Scouring Winds as your fourth Ascendancy. I hope I could show you a really cool build guide that will definitely get you to a cheap tier 15, tier 16 start, and you can basically farm most of the content. I didn't test the Pinnacle boss out yet, but we have a pretty good single target damage setup, so it should also be viable to get this single target. If you have any further questions, please ask them in below. And also please leave a like and a sub, would boost my channel tremendously, and until next video, bye.